This is the way that we used to always go. When I was originally leading like these student teams and stuff, we usually worked in South and East Winston. We did a lot of work with a church that we're going to be coming up on here that had like a food pantry. We fed a lot of the kids and stuff like that we worked with. There was a clothing bank, and we just did a lot of kind of outreach, like mentoring, different things like that. We would come, we'd have like a group of us, there'd be like 12 of us or so, especially at its height. We'd come here on Sundays and all kinds of other times. Go in through this door. I wish it was open, but I don't even think anybody's down here anymore. That's the thing, like these little projects, they come up and they get a lot of enthusiasm behind them and stuff like that, and they just kind of go away, you know? The Piedmont Renewal Network started as a college movement. It was kind of a tradition at Piedmont that every class gave a gift basically back to the school. So when I got elected president of my particular class, I wanted to do something different. What we decided to do is we were going to create a nonprofit that was focused on economic mobility. What we came up with was education. The most successful nonprofits that do the most for their communities, they throw everything but the kitchen sink at the entire family, and they stay with them over a long period of time. And trying to study this wraparound methodology, we actually went to Haiti. There was a program in Haiti that was copying a lot of the best wraparound programs in the States, but they didn't charge to go, and just kind of breathe their air. And we stayed with them for several days and learned, surprisingly, so much about the power of wraparound models. We got a lot of different perspective on that type of thing. And so we were able to bring a lot of that sort of like wisdom and perspective back here to the work that we were doing. And that set us on a course to finding the NAI model, which we now copy. So by the end of my senior year, we had a mission, we had a model, we knew what we wanted to do, and I was 110% sold out to it. It's like, I only have one life to live, and I want to live it pursuing equity in this and maybe other communities. This is something that I'm just really passionate about. The problem was, even though I had decided this is absolutely what I'm going to do, there was no clear path for that. And I was about to get married in addition to that. It was just a really intense time, and I did not have a job. I didn't have anything lined up. I was actually beginning to look for fast food jobs and openings in that kind of flexible field so that I could have enough time left in the day to continue to work on this project. It was really right at the last minute, right at 3 weeks before graduation, the president of Piedmont called me into his office and said he'd been working really hard on some different things and had found us a grant. It was enough for me to live off of and just have a little bit of cash left over to kind of fund some research and projects and ultimately a trip out to California to study the model. That's basically all that it was good for. This is where I would come. So I remember it was the first day I actually got up and came to work, and I had no supervision. It was kind of like the first work day after we got the grant, and I know I was going to be able to do this full time. I had just graduated. I came down here and I knew nobody in Winston-Salem. I didn't know, really what we were doing. I didn't know who to connect with. I didn't know where to start. I didn't have any kind of like academic training or experience that would say, how to start and run a business or a nonprofit or anything like that. So I came down to this board right here, and I wrote right up here, up top, Piedmont Renewal Network. Just over the course of that day and the next day, because it was summer, nobody was in the classrooms, just filled up the entire board with like to-dos and contingencies and different things, just kind of like grasping at straws, shooting in the dark. We'd have a big development, I'd erase everything, I would start over. But this right here is, this was it. This was our operating system and everything, this board right here, when it was just me that summer, so. The biggest challenge for me was that I didn't have any business background or experience. I didn't know how to start a nonprofit. I barely even understood like what a nonprofit was technically. It was a matter of piecing together a puzzle, kind of blindfolded and with both arms tied behind your back, because you just did not know what the next step was. So right as the Piedmont Renewal Network was getting off the ground, Dr. Pettit, the president at Piedmont, said if we could actually create a highly credible model, Piedmont would then follow through with 25 full tuition scholarships annually, which was huge. In my mind, we've got a program. You know what I mean? We've got something that we can go out, we can sell, I can build around that promise, which they've kept.